Patel's path was not yet all clear. Mountbatten's policy seemed to be dominating Nehru's mind. 4 days prior to Mountbatten's departure, he had stated, "We will pursue an open door policy so far as these proposals offered by Mountbatten are concerned, and the Nizam is welcome to accept them at any time he chooses." This was not acceptable to Patel. It was a policy of drift which Nizam had successfully managed so far with the support of Mountbatten. In a letter of 21st January to N.V. Gadgil, Patel wrote, "I am rather worried about Hyderabad. This is the time when we should take firm and definite action. There should be no vacillation, and the more public the action is, greater effect it will have a morale of our people both here and in Hyderabad, and will convince our opponents that we mean business. If even now we relax, we shall not only be doing a disservice to the country, but would be digging our own grave." The situation was climaxing towards confrontation. On 2nd August, like Ali told the State Assembly, Hyderabad has decided to refer the case to United Nations. The Indians may coerce us. They may subject us to ordeals. They may overrun us by their military strength. We cannot give up our stand. We shall not give up our freedom. Earlier he had told a Muslim deputation that if the Union government takes any action against Hyderabad, 100,000 men are all ready to join our army. We have also 100 bombers in Saudi Arabia ready to bomb Bombay. Munshi reported to Patel on 3rd August, during the last fortnight, the atrocities of Razakars have become utterly irresponsible, and loot, murder and rape are going on in more than one district. By early July, Hyderabad bore the appearance of a war camp, gunning and gun rounding, running from Goa by land, from Karachi by air, and accelerated these movements. On July 6, India's Secretary General Girija Shankar Bajpayee informed India's High Commissioner in London, Krishna Menon, of gun running by air into Hyderabad from airfields near Karachi. Engaged in these operations were as some Australians, including Sydney Cotton, who had smuggled arms and ammunition into Hyderabad by night, landing his aircraft either at Bidar or Warangal. Thomas Emshert, the Commander-in-Chief of the Indian Air Force, warned the Defence Minister Baldev Singh that if these gun-running aircraft were loaded up with bombs, he could be powerless to intercept them with the aircraft at his disposal. Pakistan's complicity was clear from Pakistan's General Gracie told India's General Butcher on 30th August, any coercion of Hyderabad would put Pakistan in an impossible position should civil disorder break out in India. Pakistan's hostility was seen in her cashing on a portion of 20 crores Government of India securities which the Nizam had offered Pakistan as a loan. Further, the Nizam's UN delegation had first visited Karachi prior to proceeding to USA. Reference to the UN had been made on Mokenton's advice in the expectation that it would delay police action and that the UNO might get India to accept modification to the rejected Mountbatten drafts. Patel called to Dehradun Major General J.N. Chaudhary, who was to lead the operations, and subjected him to a cross-examination for his personal assurance before giving the army the go-ahead. Chaudhary records what Patel told him: "If I did well, I will take the credit, but if things went wrong, I would be blamed. But whatever I did, I'll be supported." This was the wonderful thing about working with Sardar Patel. He gave feeling of intimacy, his wholehearted backing and unflinching faith in men under him not only spurred them into action but helped them to attain their victory and their goals. Never to retreat, as he himself had never done. In a democratic setup, cabinet sanction was essential for police action. Patel faced a formidable task in overcoming of the Defence Committee, of which Nehru was the chairman. There was so much of bitterness that Sardar Patel walked out, seeing his seat vacant. VP Menon told Rotary meeting in Bombay, "I too walked out 5 minutes later." This seemed to have shaken Nehru out of his complacent mood and mellowed his opposition. Later, at a meeting attended by the Governor General Rajgopalachari, the Prime Minister, the Home Minister Patel, and the Secretary to the State Minister Menon, it was decided to order troops into Hyderabad. Patel had yet to face Hamlet in Nehru. The British Commander-in-Chief of the Indian Army, General Roy Butcher, persuaded Nehru that even at that late stage, the campaign should be called off, as military, risky and hazardous on the ground of internal security in the whole country. About midnight, September 12th, after he had spoken to Nehru, Butcher attempted a rare feat in pulling Patel out of the bed that hour and advised him at least to postpone the action for fear of air attacks on Bombay and Ahmedabad. Patel reminded Butcher how London had suffered during the Great War and coolly assured him that Ahmedabad and Bombay both could stand up to attack if it came. Butcher, Munshi writes, was hesitant, throughout hesitant. He overestimated the capacity of Hyderabad army, underestimated that of his own troops, and knew the ability of Sardar to deal with the problems of internal law and order. Like most Englishmen, he was unable to realize that no price was too high to be paid for eliminating Razakars' menace, which had threatened the very existence of India. In H.V.R. Iyengar's view, the verdict of history will be that Sardar was right, a verdict with which Nehru wholeheartedly agreed later.